There are penthouses. And then there is altitude. $200 million doesn't buy square footage. It buys separation. It buys silence above the noise. It buys a line in the sky where the city finally runs out of reach. Welcome to the $200 million Sky Penthouse. 3 levels suspended above the clouds. A private helipad carved into the crown. An address that exists closer to passing jets than passing traffic. This is not a home built for comfort. It's a monument to ambition. The tower rises from the financial district like a vertical blade of glass, 1,400 feet of engineered confidence. Steel exoskeleton. Low iron glass. Wind-tuned mass dampers hidden deep in its spine. From street level, it reflects the skyline. From the top, it owns it. The Sky Penthouse occupies the final 3 floors, 96, 97, and 98, a total of 18,000 square feet floating above the urban grid. You don't arrive by elevator alone. You arrive by ascent. The private lift requires biometric clearance. Retina scan. Pressure-sealed vestibule. The doors open into a double-height gallery framed by a 28-foot glass wall that curves with the tower's crown. Below you, the city looks architectural, almost theoretical. Cars reduced to light trails. Rooftops flattened into geometry. The first level is the social theater. A 4,000-square-foot great room stretches from east to west exposure, wrapped in seamless glass. Sunrise on one side. Sunset on the other. The flooring is book-matched Calcutta marble cut in 12-foot slabs, veins running like frozen lightning beneath your steps. Overhead, a sculptural ceiling installation in brushed titanium mirrors the skyline in fractured reflections. There's no visible clutter. No excess. Every line intentional. The living space flows into a suspended dining platform, a slab of blackened oak hovering above a recessed reflecting pool. 12 seats. Custom Italian leather. Above it, a chandelier engineered from fiber optic strands that react subtly to wind speeds outside the tower. When the air currents shift, the light changes temperature. Beyond the dining space, a chef's kitchen designed for performance rather than decoration. Twin marble islands. Integrated Gaggenau systems. A walk-in cold room hidden behind flush cabinetry. This is where private chefs plate Michelin-level tasting menus while the skyline becomes a backdrop. But the true centerpiece of this level isn't the marble. It isn't the glass. It's the sky terrace. A 2,500-square-foot open-air expanse cut into the crown of the building. Frameless glass balustrades. Heated basalt flooring. An infinity edge pool that visually dissolves into the horizon. Swim far enough and it feels like you're moving into open air. On the far edge, the helipad. Circular. Matte graphite surface. Subtle LED perimeter lighting embedded flush with the stone. Rated for mid-size executive helicopters. Direct access to the penthouse via a secure sky bridge. From Manhattan to the Hamptons in 22 minutes. From downtown to the private jet terminal without touching traffic. This isn't convenience. It's control over time. As day fades, the terrace transforms. Linear fire features ignite along the perimeter. The city becomes a field of gold beneath you. Music carries lightly in the high-altitude air. Conversations feel different at this height, as if gravity itself has less influence. But the Sky Penthouse isn't designed just to entertain. It's designed to signal. Every material here was selected with one question in mind. Does this belong at the top of the world? Even the structural glass panels are triple laminated, acoustically sealed, engineered to withstand hurricane-force winds. When storms roll in, you watch lightning from eye level. Thunder hits below you. This is where ambition relocates once it's finished negotiating with the ground. And yet, this is only the first level. Because true power doesn't reveal everything at once. Upstairs, privacy becomes absolute. And above that, legacy takes shape. To understand the Sky Penthouse, you don't measure it in square feet. You measure it in altitude gained. The second level doesn't welcome guests. It filters them. As the staircase rises from the main gallery, the architecture shifts. The openness of the social floor gives way to compression, lower ceilings, darker tones, softer acoustics. It feels deliberate, intentional, like stepping behind the curtain of a global empire. This level is 6,000 square feet of controlled privacy. At its center, the master suite. Not a bedroom, a domain. You enter through a vestibule lined in smoked walnut panels, each one hand-finished, grain-aligned like a continuous horizon. The door pivots silently on concealed hinges. Inside, 2,200 square feet unfold in quiet precision. Floor-to-ceiling glass wraps the perimeter, but here, transparency is optional. Electrochromic panels tint at the touch of a wall-mounted glass interface. Clear to opaque in 3 seconds. The skyline fades. The room becomes a sanctuary suspended in shadow. The bed platform is elevated on a monolithic slab of honed travertine. Integrated LED strips trace its base, creating the illusion that it's hovering. Opposite the bed, a linear gas fireplace carved into black granite runs the entire width of the wall. Above it, nothing. No television. No distraction. Just fire and sky. To the left, a private lounge with a curved mohair sofa positioned toward the eastern exposure. This is where early mornings begin, coffee in hand, watching the first aircraft carve white lines across the upper atmosphere. Behind a hidden sliding panel, the wardrobe gallery. This isn't storage. It's a curated exhibition. Glass-enclosed compartments climate-controlled to preserve rare fabrics. Custom backlit shelving for limited edition sneakers. A watch vault recessed into reinforced concrete, biometric access only. The island in the center is wrapped in saddle leather, stitched by hand in Florence. Every drawer closes with hydraulic precision. The master bath sits at the far end, positioned at the corner of the tower where 2 glass walls meet. A freestanding onyx soaking tub rests on a raised plinth. Beneath it, heated stone. Around it, uninterrupted horizon. You bathe at 1,400 feet while the city negotiates beneath you. The shower is carved from a single slab of Patagonia quartzite, book-matched so the veining flows continuously across floor and wall. Rainfall system integrated into the ceiling. Water pressure calibrated by altitude compensation technology. Even physics bends to the design. His and hers vanities float independently, separated by a vertical garden wall irrigated through a concealed hydroponic system. Subtle scent diffusers release notes of vetiver and cedar at programmed intervals. Everything is engineered. Everything is deliberate. Beyond the master domain, 2 additional guest suites line the southern edge of the floor. Each one equivalent in scale to a luxury condominium. Private lounge, marble bath, panoramic views. Designed for world leaders, tech founders, royalty who prefer discretion. But the defining space of this level is the library. A double-height chamber wrapped in floor-to-ceiling shelving crafted from dark-stained oak. A sliding ladder glides along a brass rail. First editions. Architectural monographs. Private journals. Bound strategy reports. In the center, a 14-foot slab desk cut from solid American walnut. No clutter. Just surface. Behind the shelving, concealed acoustic insulation creates near-total silence. You could hear your own pulse here. You could negotiate billion-dollar acquisitions without raising your voice. This is where decisions are made that shift markets. Adjacent to the library sits the screening room, 18 reclining seats upholstered in Italian nubuck. 8K projection system. Dolby Atmos calibrated to the dimensions of the space. Walls wrapped in charcoal acoustic fabric. It's less about movies, more about premieres. Private previews. Closed-door presentations. Further down the corridor, a wellness suite. Infrared sauna lined in Canadian hemlock. Steam room tiled in matte porcelain the color of volcanic ash. Cold plunge pool recessed into basalt stone. A glass-walled gym cantilevered beyond the tower's edge. Treadmill facing open sky. When you run here, the horizon runs with you. This floor is about recalibration. Because ambition requires recovery. Because power requires clarity. But above this level lies something even rarer than luxury. Ownership of the skyline itself. The third floor isn't about living. It's about legacy. And it begins with a door that doesn't look like a door at all. At the top of the staircase, there's no sign, no label. Just a seamless wall of matte stone, cut so precisely it looks untouched by tools. Then the surface shifts. A vertical incision appears as the concealed door pivots inward. No handle. No visible hardware. Access is granted through encrypted palm recognition embedded beneath the stone. Beyond it lies the crown. This entire third level exists above the mechanical floor, meaning nothing sits above you. No neighbors. No shared structure. Just open atmosphere and a 360-degree command of the horizon. 5,000 square feet. Uninterrupted. The space is circular, following the curvature of the tower's apex. Glass wraps the perimeter without visible mullions, achieved through structural glazing bonded directly to a reinforced carbon fiber ring hidden within the ceiling. The effect is disorienting at first. It feels like standing inside a lens. The world bends around you. This level was never meant for daily routine. It was built for defining moments. At its center, a circular lounge carved one step below the surrounding floor, a sunken conversation pit upholstered in deep charcoal velvet. In the middle, a sculptural table formed from a single meteorite slab, polished but left imperfect at the edges. A reminder, even the rarest materials begin in chaos. Above, the ceiling opens into a retractable oculus. With one command, the center panel slides away, revealing raw sky. At night, stars settle directly above the lounge. During meteor showers, you don't watch from a terrace. You sit beneath open air at 1,400 feet. To the north quadrant sits the observatory bar. A crescent-shaped counter finished in liquid metal wraps around a backlit onyx core. Rare spirits locked in glass vitrines. A dedicated sommelier station with humidity-controlled wine vault descending 2 levels into the tower's insulated core. Bottles from Bordeaux, older than most skyscrapers. This is where alliances are formed. Where headlines are quietly rewritten before they exist. On the opposite side, a strategy room concealed behind pivoting glass panels. Inside, a round table in smoked glass. 12 seats. Integrated screens embedded flush into the surface. Real-time global market feeds. Secure satellite communication lines. Independent power supply. If the city below goes dark, this room stays lit. Because ultimate ambition plans for disruption. Along the eastern curve, a gallery space designed for private art collections. Museum-grade lighting calibrated to preserve pigment integrity. Climate control fine-tuned to half-degree precision. Sculptures anchored invisibly into the floor structure to resist seismic movement. This is where legacy becomes tangible. Paintings that once hung in Parisian estates. Abstract steel installations commissioned exclusively for this altitude. Pieces acquired not for display, but for permanence. And then there's the Sky Garden. Carved into the southern arc of the crown, this open-air sanctuary sits one level above the helipad but remains invisible from below. Japanese black pine trees rooted in engineered soil beds reinforced with lightweight composite framing. A shallow reflecting pond mirrors the skyline upside down. Stone pathways imported from Kyoto, hand-set to create controlled imperfection. You walk here alone. Above traffic. Above politics. Above the daily volatility of the world. At this height, sound changes. Wind doesn't rush, it hums. Aircraft pass at eye level. Storm fronts roll in like theater curtains. You don't check the weather forecast. You witness it forming. As night falls, the entire crown transitions. LED strips embedded along the glass perimeter emit a faint halo visible from miles away. The tower doesn't just stand in the skyline, it announces its apex. Helicopter blades cut through the dark as an executive aircraft descends onto the private pad below. From the crown, you see it before anyone else does. The arrival of influence. The arrival of consequence. $200 million is a number. But the Sky Penthouse was never about price. It's about position. There are estates in the countryside with gates and acres. There are waterfront villas with private docks. There are compounds hidden behind security walls. But only a handful of residences on Earth allow you to look down at an entire metropolis and say, "This is the view from the summit." This penthouse isn't purchased. It's claimed. It represents the final evolution of ambition, when success no longer seeks validation at street level. When time is measured in airspace clearance and sunrise angles. When privacy becomes architecture. The $200 million Sky Penthouse doesn't compete with the city. It transcends it. Because at a certain altitude, you're no longer building wealth. You're building legacy in the sky.